Welcome to the COPA90 studio here in New York City. I'm here with my guy Frank, and today we're going to be talking about Liga MX. The liguilla and the clausura of Liga MX has been absolutely incredible. We've seen some wild matches, so it got us wondering, is it the most exciting league in Latin America? So we're going to find out. Welcome to the FIFA Showdown, where we talk soccer's hottest topics with hot sauces. So here's how it's going to go down.
We're going to be putting up Liga MX against some of the best Latin America has to offer, using FIFA 18 to simulate or play out 3 scenarios and bet on the outcomes. Whichever one of us FIFA disagrees with will have to consume some of the spiciest hot sauce we could find and face extreme humiliation. If you guys missed the last episode, here's what happened to Aaron.
Hashtag trash FIFA player. Maybe Aaron can get into the Sunderland squad.
Oh,
which would really hurt Mike. Trevor Estrada says, Aaron is the USMNT of FIFA Showdown.
Oh!
Very good. That was very good. A lot of hashtag stay trash. A lot of hashtag vibes for stay trash guy.
That was nice. You got roasted on the live show.
Some people are thinking that I enjoy losing just because I've done it a few times and have kind of kept a straight face.
Right.
No, I'm bad at it.
The winner of the Argentina kit from the last episode was Leo Vargas. Congratulations to you. And for this episode, we're going to give away a kit of the winner's choice. So pretty much any kit that you want. So as always, to be eligible to win, be sure to answer every single one of the comment time questions throughout the episode.
Do it.
Toluca and Santos are in the final of the Liguilla coming up right now. It's been super exciting to watch. So we brought on our friend Rigo Ayala once again.
Fellas,
Thanks for
how
joining
you guys
us.
doing? Heath.
Excited.
And our guy, Heath Pierce, as well, to kind of
¿Cómo estás?
move in. Gracias. So Rigo, Santos and Toluca, do you think that they are good enough to be pitted up against maybe some of the best that Latin America has to offer? Some of the best teams in Argentina and Colombia and Chile,
I think
Brazil?
Liga MX is a league with a lot of parity. Every season, you're gonna get a different representation of who the top teams are. But this season, I would say Toluca and Santos, they killed it all season. They go into the playoffs, and they've just been outscoring teams. So yeah, I mean, I think right at this particular moment, based on how the teams in the past have played in international tournaments, Mexico has a league that can compete with the top South American leagues.
As a league in general, I think Liga MX definitely competes. They have an ability to keep a hold of a lot of their best domestic talent, and a lot of the players from Latin America are coming to Mexico to play in that league, whereas it used to be Argentina. Fans got a little bit too much control in Argentina, and now players are afraid to play a beautiful game there because they'd rather you fight and kick and kill each other than play what used to be a pretty attractive league. So I think players are leaving a lot earlier and not staying in that league.
That's true, right? So we are seeing Rigo, a pool of South American talent in Liga MX, as he said, right?
I mean, since I can remember, I've been watching Liga MX probably since the 90s, and there's always been a huge influx of South Americans. And it's almost like a launching pad for them because they come to Liga MX. There's a lot of international exposure because of how the league is marketed, especially in the United States. And they're able to make that jump into Europe. And some of them even come back from Europe. You have a lot of South Americans that go to Europe and they even come back to Mexico just because financially you're paid pretty well in Mexico.
So guys, we're gonna put Toluca and Santos in the Argentinian top flight and the Brazilian top flight. We're gonna simulate it and see what happens.
All right, so for this one, I will be taking Santos. Frank is going to take Toluca. We're going to aggregate their league positions, and whoever comes out better for this one wins. Pretty simple.
I don't know if they're actually taking into account how good Toluca actually are and giving them the necessary points in the sims to show what they're at in current form.
Right.
Respect the sim, for
Gotta
sure.
respect the sim, but we all acknowledge that there's not much
And I
love
mean, and Liga
given to
MX is
non-EPL teams.
undervalued by FIFA
The Sim does not
and
love
EA Sports.
anyone.
No, the sim does not love
Doesn't
anyone
love anyone.
besides Premier League. We're gonna check the table right now, and let's see who finishes better. Independiente are first.
Toluca 5th.
And
Toluca
Santos
are
is in
5th.
Santos 8th.
Santos 8th.
And they finished ahead of
Boom.
Boca Juniors.
Not incredible. Toluca are respectable, so they're 5th. So now we're gonna go ahead and check the Brazilian league.
I don't know about the Brazilian one, man.
Yeah, Brazilian one is.
There's
They're-
a lot more parity in Brazil than Argentina for sure. too.
Also-
just like multiple winners.
Also, in the Brazilian league, the licensing is kind of an issue, so some of the teams aren't actually in this.
Grêmio doesn't have Luan or Arthur or any.
But they have their likeness.
Well, that's certainly gonna up the table, isn't it?
Here's the reveal for Santos and Toluca in the Brazilian top flight.
Wait, that's a different
Different
Santos.
Santos, you're second.
Toluca's
Number 8,
still,
Santos.
Oh wait,
Toluca's
oh wait,
8's up.
8 and 8 plus
Toluca's 14.
14 and 5. We win. I win.
Wait,
I win. Santos 8 and 8. That makes 16. 16.
Draw
Imagine
that.
I was drawing
Okay.
16. Toluca 5 plus 14 equals 19. 16 less 19.
Wait, did you lose?
Oh yeah, I went to Luca.
Okay. Rigo lost, so Rigo
I
gets
really
it.
appreciate our guests like embarking on this pain.
That's hot, man.
I tried to get you out of it.
It is
Listen,
hot.
I did not
I'll
try
just
to get my man
all
out
right,
of it.
I'm gonna do 2. Sauce is delicious. The heat afterwards.
Is this the one from last
I
time?
forgot
Yeah.
how much I enjoyed seeing Frank in pain. Wonderful.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. Heath, your
thanks for having me.
Argentinian expertise was fantastic. Rigo, I think you'll be joining us in some other segments. So.
I'll be here all night.
Awesome.
Rico actually lives here.
Yeah. When you guys leave, it's me on the couch.
Okay, so for this segment, we have a new guest on, replacing Heath, Mendel, Brazilian League fan, Sao Paulo fan. Thank you. So guys, we want to talk about Copa Libertadores. We know that Liga MX clubs are no longer in the tournament right now. So as a fan of a Liga MX club, Chivas, how do you feel about that? Do you regret not being able to be pitted against South America's best teams, or?
I think that's what hurts Mexican clubs the most, is the inability to play top international talent. If you notice, this year's CONCA Champions League was taken a little bit more seriously. Chivas won, for you guys that are watching. Theoretically, I mean, and realistically, Chivas wants to play in Copa Libertadores. That's the top tournament. Obviously, they couldn't come to an agreement with CONCACAF, but I think that's where it hurts
Right.
Mexico. While MLS was able to take this tournament more seriously, and they've made some giant leaps, I think Mexico wants to be pitted up against the best of South America.
And Mendel, coming from the other side of that, do you sort of feel slighted that you're not playing Liga MX teams?
Yeah, no, totally. Last Libertadores happened where Grêmio won, going easily through like Venezuelan teams and very low-rated teams, you know. And they won, and it was a very easy tournament, and that never happened when we got Mexican teams in the mix. So I feel cheated, absolutely. I want the Mexicans in there. I want them, you know, making it harder, making it more competitive. So
Having Mexico in the tournament provides a lot more exposure, because once Mexico left, it was hard to find channels to watch Copa Libertadores in the U.S.
that's true.
When the Mexican League was in it, the games were always on,
Right.
because you knew that Mexico's a top draw here in the United States.
The South American teams, as far as their TV deals, they don't do themselves any favors with the way with their marketing and their TV deals, right? So,
Right, because the teams negotiate the deals like individually. There's no league, like the Premier League negotiates the deals for the Premier League. And that really hurts their marketing worldwide. It's a great tournament. The Brazilian League, I think, is one of the most competitive leagues out there. Every time there's like 10 teams out there that can win the league. And we don't get, half as much coverage as we should.
So guys, we basically made a mock Copa Lib on FIFA 18. I think, as we all know, not all the Brazilian teams are in here, so we put a hodgepodge of like the best South America has to offer in FIFA into a tournament. So
Let's go Santos.
Aaron has Santos throughout this whole thing.
Riding with.
I'm riding with Toluca. Here's the results. Wow, so the final was all Argentina.
Not gonna happen. In real life. Not gonna happen.
Santos last.
Bottom of their group.
Santos finished bottom of their group. And then Toluca, please just don't get last. Where's Toluca?
Bottom of their group, 6 points.
Less points too.
Because they both finished last. And
plus
Santos had 7 points. Toluca had 6.
No, you're right.
There's only one right criteria here.
Who can I speak with at Toluca to fix this?
Can we phone your manager? They're all kind of like relatively evenly sparse, like
Yeah,
out, like
none of
10
the-
to
none of-
7
none of the
to
groups
6
are, like,
points. Yeah, no one's
very-
like running away with it.
Yeah.
So I could see. I mean, it's a tough tournament. Like I could see this happening. Like you get 2 wins, you get a 1 win, a couple points, and then just end up finishing bottom of your group.
And I think we all can agree that it just makes it much more competitive
Yeah,
when there are
yeah,
Liga
absolutely.
MX sides.
Oh, yeah.
I really
yeah,
like
for
what
sure,
you said about
And
that.
historically, Liga MX teams have always played well in the tournaments,
Let's just
having
point
reached a couple
attention to the
finals.
fact that
Right.
Frank is
They
really
never
respected
won, I
this.
think.
Yeah, they never won.
They never won, but they're
I
always top
respect these.
4.
Yeah.
Always.
I respect you, Frank. Yeah.
Guys, thank you again so much for coming on. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I'll be here all night.
Great knowledge. For this last segment, we're going to talk about the final for the La Clausura, correct? Clausura?
Clausura.
Yes,
Clausura final.
clausura.
Santos versus Toluca. So joining us for the first time, Olivia from her office.
Yay!
Yeah, gang.
Gang, gang.
And then again, he keeps showing up.
I just live here.
George
I don't have a
Cost-
COPA90 shirt
We
though.
told him not to
so-
come back, but he kept showing up.
I don't know.
You George Costanza did.
I am.
He just kept showing up. We're gonna basically play this out now, doing a FIFA battle. We're gonna do 2 legs, just like they do in the actual Liguilla final. Aaron, you have
Santos.
Santos the entire way. Toluca, they've let me down this entire episode, but I'm gonna stick with them.
Have they really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. You weren't here.
I already won.
Versus.
Do you like there's a clausura and an apertura? Would you rather just have, obviously you guys like the playoffs and having the parity of having playoffs, but do you like that there's
You know, there's a lot of pros and cons to both. I
Yeah.
feel like the short seasons, there's so much pressure on coaches that it kind of stifles the youth development because coaches are there to win. So a lot of times they'll play, more experienced talent over the younger players.
When Liga happens, like the stadiums are full. Like those are the games that matter. It's like during regular season, you'll kind of see that half empty. So it's kind of, I would worry if like the Mexican League would actually switch to one season, how that would suffer. Like I think the league would suffer.
Would drop off,
Yeah.
In Liga MX, if you lose 1 week, you could literally go from 2nd place to 10th.
Yeah.
Because it's just every week counts and the league is just, and the teams are just, a parody of each other.
I know that Club America had a big
My man just shrugged. That dude just shrugged. Whoever that is just made my defender look like a small sad boy.
so no one's excited for me. That's
small
okay.
sad
That
boy.
you're supposed to be on his side.
Look at this. Look
We've
at my
already
defender
lost.
just
I've had enough
Oh,
nuggets.
look at this though.
Who is that?
Fernando
Uribe.
Uribe.
That's
He's the one that's
Rigo.
been on half.
That
That's
is
Rigo.
same haircut.
All right, so their most prolific scored. That's realistic. And the teams that made it to La Liguilla, who were the most disappointing? Was it America?
No.
No, I think honestly,
Oh,
even
Monterrey teams?
I think it
Yeah.
has to be them.
Those teams don't have the pressure that a Club America has.
That's true. Yeah.
no,
So
what are you doing?
a Club America has more pressure to win a championship, but if we were to look at these teams on paper and see which team should really be winning every tournament, it's Tigres and Monterrey.
Yeah. And I think there's more like.
Oh wow,
I
good
think.
ball.
Se
falló!
What is going on?
Yo, man, 2 parts to the
game
play.
cheating.
You got the cross and you got the finish. You didn't get the finish.
The game is cheating.
I was about to ask what the goalie was doing.
Let's do it then.
Hang on, so we're gonna play second leg fixture.
Play
So
second
that's the
leg
first leg.
fixture.
Going back to like the Club America thing, it's just there was more pressure on them to do better for this Liga just because
Success of Chivas.
the success of Chivas and they're
Right.
like the eternal rivals. So it's like you would think like, okay, they won the Champions League, so now we have to come back and like prove to them that we can we're still a big team, and they ultimately failed. I don't know. It's kind.
Oh my goodness! What is that? Oh my!
Nice, man. Look at that celebration. What a
Capitalize
celebration.
on the
Wow.
mistake.
Benito Vasquez, snubbed from the national
Oh,
team.
Yeah.
Lord.
That's not bad. I like that. There was no need for that.
All right, it's
Yeah.
going to penalties. Just like everyone thought, it's going to penalties. We're gonna go at it.
Don't look at my controller, bro. Don't.
You know he's looking.
Oh.
What? Show.
Oh, what the hell, bro? Why is it turning?
I'm nauseous. Oh my!
No,
Okay,
get
you're-
off the shit.
Telegraph that one too.
Turn it off.
Aaron, what are you doing?
What's it going down?
Oh.
Oh God, I was gonna go right, but I didn't. Oh, I hit that too hard. No, I didn't. Oh, there it is.
I hope this happens on Sunday, to be honest.
Has everyone seen the finish?
Oh, there it is. Game over. Toluca are the champions of the Clausura, the Liguilla and the Clausura, both,
Yeah.
according to FIFA and FIFA Showdown. Hey, you still have
I
to
like
eat 2
that.
nuggets.
Olivia, have a nugget.
I do want to try one.
Everyone who does the first time they're here, they have a nugget.
What kind of hot sauce is this?
Scorpion
It is,
hot sauce.
Japanese
Scorpion pepper.
fire sauce.
780,000 Scoville units.
Guess what, guys? Here's what happened to Frank.